Good morning, readers. Happy Tuesday. You're going to be beginning to read series books in this new unit that we started yesterday. And you're pretty familiar with series books, actually, because even though you haven't really read them on your own yet, most of you wrote them. And we've been reading Amber Brown together. And one thing we realized together is that when authors or writers write series books, they take one character and they think about what that one character is like. And then they use those character traits over and over again in the books. It makes the books more interesting. It helps the author find ways to get the character into trouble, but also to get the character out of trouble. And as we said yesterday, it's just like the TV shows that you watch a lot, where you really get to know the characters very, very well. Think about your favorite TV series. And think about a character that you like. I bet you could tell me all about that character and what that character usually acts like and usually thinks and says. And it helps you make predictions when you're reading too, so you can really get involved in the books you're reading. So we've been talking about Amber and what she's like. We've learned that she's messy. She's not very patient. She's a good friend. We also learned yesterday that she's really hurt. She feels abandoned by her father, by Justin. Important people that she needs and loves have left her, and that makes her act angry, even though it's really hurt that she's feeling. Because she has this big hurt inside, sometimes it makes her act angry. And then we also learn that she doesn't always like to show when she feels weak or needy. Sometimes she'll pretend to be tough, even though she's not really feeling so tough. So today, we're going to read another chapter. And in chapter 7, we're going to think a little bit more about what we're learning about Amber, and maybe a little bit about Justin too, from what they think, what they say, what they do. Those are the ways you learn about the characters. Okay, so chapter 7. The Daniels' house, that's Justin's house, looks like a cyclone hit it, then a tornado, followed by an earthquake, and finally a meteor fell on it. What a dump. Mrs. Daniels looks around her kitchen. There's stuff all over the place. Pots, pans, dishes, boxes of food, spices. The place is a real mess, kind of like my bedroom usually looks, but not at all like the Daniels' house looks normally. But I guess there's no more normal, because everything's getting packed. Mrs. Daniels sighs. Kids, please stay out of my way. We've got to be out of here in 2.5 weeks. I wish I didn't even have to be here right now, but my mother had to go to work for a couple of hours, even though it's Saturday. 2.5 weeks. When I first found out that they were actually moving, I had 5 weeks to get used to the idea. Now that time is half gone. Justin won't even talk to me about the fact that he's leaving. I want you to think about that idea. Justin won't talk about it. He keeps acting as if everything is the same. I keep wanting to talk about it. Think about that. Justin doesn't want to talk about the move. Amber keeps wanting to talk about it. He won't. It's driving me nuts. Every time I mention it, he suggests we play or make something or watch a video. Every time I say, Justin, I want to talk to you, he says, I don't want to talk. I don't know what to do. Sometimes I think about talking to my mom about this, but she's already really sad that the Danielses are leaving. That's sweet of Amber. She doesn't want to make her mom any more sad, so she's a loving person. We said that yesterday too. She and Mrs. Daniels have been friends since Justin and I were in preschool. Kids, I repeat, do me a favor and stay out of my way today, Mrs. Daniels says. I've really got to get the stuff packed. I've put some boxes in your bedroom, Justin. I just want you to go through all your things. Throw out the things that are no good, broken, and put things that are still good but that you don't want in a box to give away to charity. Yeah, Justin yells. His mother looks at him. Justin Daniels, you're not going to try to give away that suit your grandmother sent you. Rats, Justin frowns. I'll help, I offer. wondering when I turned into the queen of clean. So I'm going to stop for a minute and think there. Amber says, I'll help. And then she wonders why she said that, because she's so messy usually. She doesn't usually even clean her own stuff. So when something in a book is a little bit confusing to you, it's a good thing to stop and think, what does that tell me about the character? So why does Amber offer to help Justin, even though she doesn't like to clean? I'm going to think of the things I already know about Amber. I know she's messy, so that doesn't help me understand it. But another thing I know is that she's a very good friend and a very loving person, and she is very helpful. So I think that just gives me more evidence for the fact that she's a good friend and a loving person, that she's offering to help Justin even though she doesn't like to clean. That was very kind of her. She also didn't want to hurt her mother, so she doesn't talk to her mother because of that. So that just affirms something that I already thought before. All right, let's read on. Heading into Justin and Danny's room, we step over already packed and labeled boxes. Justin picks up a basketball and throws it at me. I throw it back. Soon we're playing a game of points for hitting the other person. They're pretty silly, both of them, right? We made the game up in second grade. 1 point for a chest hit, 2 points for a direct hit to the rear end, 3 points for the big toe, pinky, and the belly button. You can lose points. You lose 5 points if you hit the person in the head or in certain other places. So that's very kind of both of them. They don't want anybody to get hurt. 3 points. Yes. Justin smashes the ball into my shoe, right where my big toe is. Mrs. Daniels comes into the room. And a -20 for you not doing what I said. Look, we still have a lot to pack. I sent Danny over to his friend's house so that we could get some more done. Now I'm treating you like a big boy, Justin. Please act like one. Justin looks down at the floor. What does that show about him when he looks down at the floor? Why would somebody do that? I think it shows that he feels bad that his mom yelled at him and that she said that he wasn't acting like a big boy. I wonder, how come when adults say things like, I'm treating you like a big boy or girl, you end up feeling like a baby? She leaves, and I say again, I'll help. We start going through the stuff in his closets. In the important box go his baseball card collection, 3 blue ribbons from the county fair, 3-legged races, we always win that one in our age group, his model airplanes, and all of our school yearbooks. I'm going to throw this out. If my mother finds it, she's going to have a fit. Justin holds up the chewing gum ball we've been adding to for 1.5 years. But it's ours. We both contributed to it. I think of all the times I was just going to throw the used gum out instead. But instead, I put it in a damp paper towel and then into a baggie to keep it sticky so that we could put it on the ball. Justin sighs and shrugs. My mom is in a bad enough mood already. But it's ours, I repeat. It's only a chewing gum ball. Justin sounds annoyed. Amber, why are you making such a big deal over it? That does it. Justin has gone too far. Throw it out, and I'm never going to speak to you again. I stare at Justin. He stares at me, and then he picks up the ball, bends his knees, and as if the chewing gum ball is a basketball, lobs it into the throw-out pile without saying a word. I am never going to speak to Justin Daniels again. So I want you to stop for a second, and I want you to think about that. What does it say about Justin that he doesn't want to talk about the move, and he's acting like it doesn't make a big deal? It's not a big deal. And Amber needs to talk about it, and of course it's a very big deal to her, and she shows us that by saying she's never going to talk to him again since he threw out the gumball. What does that say about both of them? That Justin doesn't want to talk about it, and he's acting like it's not a big deal. Amber needs to talk about it, and she's acting like it's a very big deal. Do you think Justin really doesn't care? What's going on here? Just think about that for a second. So what I think it means is that when Justin has a problem, He would really rather not talk about it. Some people are like that. They don't want to talk about problems. They just want to act like they're not there. It makes them uncomfortable to talk about it. It probably makes them feel a lot of feelings that are hard to feel. But Amber isn't like that. When Amber has a problem, she wants to talk about it and she wants to try to fix it in some way. Justin may be feeling like there's no way to fix it. And so I think that's what's going on here. Justin is just the kind of person who really doesn't like to talk about problems because it makes him feel too much. And Amber likes to talk about it. It makes her feel better and maybe gives her a sense that she could try to fix it. So what I want you to do now is I want you to continue reading that chapter in Frog and Toad Are Friends that I posted yesterday. I'll post the link and the passwords again. And I want you to read the rest of the first chapter called Spring. Today you're going to read pages 9 to 10, I think, the rest of the chapter. But what I actually think you might want to do is read that whole chapter today, because it's always a good idea when you're thinking about characters to reread. So reread that whole first chapter called Spring. And then in the form below, you're going to click on the form below, and you're going to answer this question. What's one thing you learn about what Frog is like, and what's the evidence? What did he do or think or say in the book? What happened in the book that tells you he's like that? And what's one thing you learn about Toad? And how do you know that? What's the evidence from the book? So one character trait for Frog, and let me know the evidence, and one character trait for Toad, and let me know the evidence. All right, enjoy, and I'll see you later for writing.